Hey everybody, this is George from the Miller School of Music. Today I'm going to be doing lesson 4 of my Harmony and Theory series. This is Intervals Part 2. Today I'm going to be breaking down all the intervals using an interval graph to help you kind of understand all the intervals visually. I'm also going to be doing the intervals of a minor scale, because last time we did the intervals of a major scale. So I'll do the intervals of a minor scale, and there's going to be 2 intervals left over that aren't part of the major or minor that I'll break down. And then I'm going to do an interval guitar fretboard diagram, so it helps you kind of visualize where the intervals and how they relate to the fretboard. And then I'm going to wrap it up with some ear training at the end. All right, so let's get started. So if you look next to me, you can see the interval chart here. So the first block represents the root, and the other blocks are going to be the half steps stacked above it. Each half step combination above the root creates a different interval. All right, so if you see the first block, that would be the root to itself, which is the perfect unison. Then the 2 blocks, which represents 1 half step. So each block is going to be 1 half step above the original block. So when we look at the 1 half step equals the minor second. Then the 2 half steps equals a major second. 3 half steps, minor third. 4 half steps is going to be a major third. 5 half steps is going to be a perfect fourth. 6 half steps is going to be the tritone or the sharp 4 or flat 5. 7 half steps is going to be your perfect fifth. 8 half steps is going to be your minor sixth. 9 half steps, major sixth. 10 half steps, minor 7. 11 half steps, major 7. And then the 12 steps, half steps is the perfect octave. All right, so this is nice to be able to just see all the possibilities, all our intervals kind of laid out flat. You can see chromatically, all in half steps. All right, next thing, let's look at the intervals of our minor scale. So if we look at the intervals of a minor scale, last time we did major. We'll start in the 8th fret again. So we're in the key of C minor. All right. So some of these intervals are going to be the same intervals from the major scale. So we start with the perfect unison, like the major scale. So this is one of the things that tend to get confused is the second note in the minor scale is actually a major interval. It's a major second. So the second note is not a minor second, it's a major second. All right, just like the major scale. Now our third note is our first new interval. So this is going to be our minor third, which is not part of the major scale. So we can find that by either going up 3 degrees in the scale. You can also, some of these intervals are going to have multiple ways of playing them. All right, so we can play this minor third by going up 3 degrees of the scale, or 3 half steps. We can also play this by going up 1 string and back a whole step. Okay. Next we have the perfect fourth. All right, we can play on the same string or same fret, up 1 string. And then, like the major scale, we have the perfect fifth as well, same as the major scale. And then our next new interval is our minor sixth. So if we go 6 notes up the minor scale, that takes us to our minor sixth. We can also play this interval by going up 2 strings and back a whole step. All right. Then our the last new interval that we're going to look at this part of the minor scale is our minor 7. So we're going to play this by staying on the same fret. We go up 2 strings. And that's 7 notes up the minor scale. All right, and then last would be our perfect octave, just like the major scale. Okay, those are the intervals of the minor scale. So now we're going to look at the 2 intervals that weren't part of the major or the minor scale, and that's our minor second and our tritone. All right, so our minor second is the smallest interval in Western music. It's our half step. So if I play this over and over, I'm sure this sounds familiar. The Jaws theme. And part of the reason is because the minor second's very tense. Almost gives you an anxious feeling. So it makes a good, shark attack theme song. The other interval, which is also a very tense interval, is our tritone. melody you can think about for this one is, there's two of them, The Simpsons. The Simpsons, or West Side Story, Maria. All right, so those are intervals that aren't part of the major or the minor scale. Our minor second and our tritone. So next we're going to look at a fretboard diagram that shows us our intervals laid across the fretboard. Now, one confusing thing is this is not any specific place on the guitar. So one thing is you want to think about it, it's like the guitar upside down, where the lowest string is on the bottom. So the first line represents our low E string. And the reason this is that you, in any type of music notation, you always want to put the lowest sound on the bottom of the page, whether it's tablature or music notation. So it's always how it sounds, not how it appears. So the bottom line represents our low E string. All right. Now, once you determine what key you're in, then you're going to be able to think about where you are on the fretboard. So for example, if we said we're in the key of G, now the 1 on the paper, on the page, represents the 3rd fret. So once we know we're in the key of G, then we can say, all right, that 1 off the low E string, that represents the 3rd fret. Or if we said we're in the key of C, now that 1 represents the 8th fret. And the 1 off the A string, that would be the 3rd fret. All right, if we said we're in the key of E, so now the 1 off the A string would be the 7th fret. So this is basically movable. So once you determine the key that you're in, then that makes all those points kind of fixed on the fretboard. So once you say you're in a certain key, all the 1s become those notes on the fretboard. So if we were in the key of C, this would be the 1 off the low E would be the 8th fret, the 1 off the A would be the 3rd fret, the 1 off the D would be the 10th fret. So you want to think about what key you're in, and then it makes you kind of visualize where all the intervals are on the fretboard. So you're going to start to see the patterns. All right, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some ear training. So we'll wrap this up with some ear training. And I'll do, just like last time, I'll play the interval, I'll pause for a minute, and then I'll play the note. Or I'll give the answer, I mean. So here we go. First interval, I'm going to play. So that's a minor 6th. And a melody you can think of for this one is The Entertainer. Next. And that's a tritone. Next interval. That's a minor 7th. And a melody you can think of for this one? It's actually the theme to the original Star Trek. Goes something like that. All right. Next interval. And that's a minor 3rd. Green sleeves. It's a good example for the minor 3rd. And let's do... That's minor 2nd. Minor 3rd again. Minor 6. Tritone. or sharp 4, flat 5. All right, so this concludes the lesson today. So remember to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for some more content, and I will see everybody shortly. Take care and have a great day.